Go live.
Yeah, 20 minutes. It's a comfortable chair. I'm good to go, bro. Like, I'll just stay out here. You get a umbrella out here. I'll just stay the whole thing.
All right. We should be live. Not yet.
What's up, man?
Come on. All right, we are live. All right. Sorry about that. We're having some internet connections here in Conroe, down in the backwoods of Texas. You know, we don't have these problems over in New York. Welcome back to the sideshow with
New
the
York?
New York,
I
man.
thought you were from Alabama with that accent. Or Australia.
I got a little Cajun in me, a little Cajun in me. Hey, welcome back to the 99% Radio Network TV, man. You can catch us on all your streaming video platforms, plus Roku and TV. We are powered by the OBBM Network, live at a Fishbowl Studio every Wednesday night from 3 to 5. And our wonderful sponsor who sponsors the Thin Blue Line, Glenn Lawson with Wolfpack Attorneys at Law. Man, I am here with the amazing Randall Reeder. Pleasure, brother.
Dude, pleasure's mine. Pleasure's mine.
Man, I tell you, I watched Deadpool. I was a very big fan of it. And when I saw your character, Buck, I became intrigued with it. But then more than the movie acting, the support really warmed my heart. I see the videos that you do with the post-traumatic stress, and man, that really.
Camp Hope, PTSD Foundation.
Yes, sir, man.
Love those guys, and it's just an honor to be able to help in that anyway with that cause, man. It's such a great cause.
You know, and we need more people like you who have a voice, right, who have that following to really bring that support network together. And you are really healing people with everything you do. And, you know, we need, like I said, we need more people with a voice, with more people with a following that can really reach people.
Well, I appreciate that. I don't know that that's true. I'm just a dude that screws up all the time, but but yeah, I'm just a savage that God saved, and I want to I want to do all the good I can. And I've done a lot of bad over my years, and I want to do all the good I can.
We all have, and you know what? That's why they have that word redemption.
Yes. Absolutely.
You know, redemption is a forgiveness that. You know, we've had a lot of people on our show. We've had Sammy the Bull Gravano on our show. We've had Michael Dowd, with corruptions with the NYPD. But all these people served their time. We can't hold judgment against those people for their past. They served, they paid their dues, and they are coming back to society to make a difference.
Some just got caught doing weird stuff that we didn't get caught on. Right?
That's right.
I mean,
we all do bad things.
Let's face it.
You know, nobody is above sin. Nobody is above, those little deviant acts. We just lucky enough to not get caught.
Amen.
So Randall, tell me a little bit about how'd you get into it? I know you were a wrestler as well.
Yeah. I started when I was 18 as a pro wrestler here in Houston, Texas, with Ivan Putski and all that he had WWA, and then about the same time actually with Booker T and Stevie Ray, and Ahmed Johnson and all that. And then moved over with this Tugboat Taylor. And, he polished me off, then took me up to Dallas, and they were doing ESPN had a Global Wrestling Federation worldwide back then. So I ended up doing TV on that. So by the time I was early 20s, I was on TV regularly, worldwide. And then started doing from there. I started acting because the third coast, Texas was the third coast back then. It was a big deal. They had Walker, Texas Ranger, all these
Dallas,
all these movies. Yeah, so I did. I did some guest stars. Did a couple guest stars on early Walker, Texas Ranger in the '90s, and then that just kind of led to a career. Next thing you know, I eventually just kind of went off to Hollywood, and it just kind of got to where after I did Sin City and Idiocracy back to back in Austin, in in 04. It was time. It was now or never. I had to go to Hollywood, and I went to Hollywood. Just kind of, never looked back, really. In a way, I've built a good career.
Well, I truly believe God puts us in a place for a reason. Yeah. Our paths aren't chosen. He chooses our path. Amen. Who we meet, who we interact with, and every decision we make, either be it good or bad, and down the line, it's for a reason.
Yeah.
Right. So you were doing some bad stuff as whatever when you were young.
Right.
And God said, you know what? I'm going to put you in this path of Hollywood. And I'm going to give you, because he knew deep down inside you that you had the heart of gold.
Right.
Maybe a little miswayed sometimes, like we all are,
exactly.
but you had a heart of gold, and you can make a difference in other people's lives, even if it's just that one person. You know, and what you're doing now, and like I said, man, you got to follow Reader on social media and all his platforms.
Yeah, hit him, you know, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. Look up Save Savage Ministries on YouTube and Facebook and probably everywhere else too. SaveSavageMinistries.com.
Tell me a little bit about Safe Salvage,
Salvage
Ministries.
Save Savage Ministries, it's, you know, God just told me at one point, he said, you know, I'm not going to bless anything you touch until you put my ministry first. I'm like, well, it'd be good if you tell me what that freaking ministry is so I can get blessed. And so that's really how it started almost. I look back and I think it was very transactional. We just wanted to get blessed. And but God told me to go into bars at 2 p.m. on Sundays. I'm like, well, that sounds completely nuts. But, I mean, you're talking, considering who you're telling to do it, I'll do it. Right? So I did it. And it's been an absolute blessing. It's changed my life forever. I never want to not do it ever. And now, you know, we go to biker rallies and all kinds of stuff as well. You know, we're prisons. We started going to prisons a lot, and it's just, you know, we really go where you know, others don't and sometimes can't. You know, like they don't fit in where, you know, not every Christian fits in where we fit in, and a bunch of us, you know, we're a ministry full of really a bunch of people who have, you know, most of us have broken most of the commandments, and a few of us have broken them all. You know, so it's really like that. We really are a bunch of savages that have been, you know, redeemed, reconciled to the Father through Christ Jesus, the Son. You know, that's really what Save Savage is, and that's what we do, and it's amazing. But you know, we get to come out here, and we have a long, you know, me personally, and Save Savage as well, but definitely me personally with, you know, with Thin Blue Line, LEMC, and Thin Blue Line, you know, Nation and the foundation and all that. Like, I've just, you know, anytime I could be a part of what they were doing as well. I was, you know, I consider myself a you know, a friend of Rico, and you know, who you know, founded. Yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, it's amazing how, you know, when you just, you know, go with God, like Val con Dios, when you go with God, where God will put you, man, it's crazy. You know, I just end up in these situations in these rooms that I'm like, man, I could have wrote that out, and I'm a writer, but, you know. So.
But see, you know, you didn't know this 10 years ago or 15 years ago, but every step you took led you to this point.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and that's, you know, I look at it the same way with myself, with how I got here to freaking Texas from Alabama. You know, you know, 9/11 happened. I was a firefighter, and I was a New York City police officer, and you know, I lost a lot of friends there, and I suffered from severe post-traumatic stress. Had to get out of the city, came here, hooked up into the comedy world. I started doing some stand-up comedy, and it led me to where I am today, just on different paths. And, you know, it's healed me. And now I can heal others. And that's why you are so inspirational to me. Now I'm following you everywhere, man, because I am on all your social media, and I'm just like, man, look what he's doing. Just to backtrack on PTSD of America.
Yeah.
For those who know, about 3 years ago, Brian, who was an Army veteran who was battling, and you guys know that I chased him around for a few weeks, you know, going to the hotels and everything else. He was really battling bad, and the PTSD of America really pulled him out and brought him to the Camp Hope. And they started doing stuff, and it really healed him for probably about a year. And sometimes we all fall, you know, and we don't have that constant support network holding us up. And he fell, and tragically 2 years later, he ended up taking his life. But for those 3 years that PTSD of America had helped him get through it, he was able to have 3 more years, because some things are unavoidable.
Sure.
So he had another 3 years with his kids. He had another 3 years with his families and his friends.
And more time to get with God.
And more time to get with God.
I love that they have that faith-based approach, you know, with Camp Hope and all that. You know, it's really amazing. It's really amazing.
I'm not lightning's going to strike me, but I grew up in the Roman Catholic church, so it kind of the Roman Catholic Church kind of took me away from it because I had no idea what they were saying.
Sure.
They were talking in Latin, and it kind of swayed me away. But as I'm getting older, I learned how faith really plays such a big part of your life. And if you don't, it's like our veterans and our first responders. When you lose your why, when you lose your purpose in life, right, you start spiraling down that rabbit hole, right? If you lose your faith in God, you're going to start spiraling down.
Absolutely.
You have to have, even if a little piece of it, you have to have and keep that faith, because that's what really motivates human beings to come out and support, to help. If we lose faith in whatever we believe in, we've lost faith in humanity, in fellow human beings, and that's when our life just starts to take a bad turn.
If we seek man, I mean, man is so flawed. It's just a spiral down. If we're seeking out for man, there's no way, man. It's just it's man can never fill that God hole in our heart. So absolutely, man.
Yeah, I mean, look what it's done for you. It's changed you in many ways, probably for the better, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Back then when you were breaking those 10 commandments, right? Did you have a purpose, or you just was wandering aimlessly?
Mine was an interesting thing because I was mine's been really scary because I was in the faith and then just kept stumbling so bad. I call my people have like, oh, I've had a 30-year walk with God. I call mine a 30-year stumble with God, because I'd have my highs and then I'd have my lows, and so it's a tough one because it's tough to reconcile, because I see so many people who they live a wild life and then they come to the Lord and then God changes them and they have this different new life, and mine was just like boom, boom, boom. It's been this process, and I only honestly, when Save Savage Ministries started, when he told me to do this, it started to make sense, like you said, like, because I couldn't understand why had I lived that way? Why did I live that way? And I believe in some way it was so that God could use me in the way that He's using me now with the people that He's using me with.
Right.
They can smell that on you, whether you've been there, done that, and so that's the only thing I can think of. Or just maybe he would have different ministry for me if I wouldn't have done stupid savage stuff.
But see, that's the wonderful thing about God and Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You don't have to be perfect.
Right.
He doesn't expect you to be the perfect person.
Right.
He allows you to stumble. But you know what? Allow Him to catch you.
Yeah.
Allow Him to pick you back up. Allow Him to put you back on a path. He will never, ever look at you. If you stumble once, twice, 100 times, He will never look down at you and say, I'm giving up. He will never give up on you.
Amen.
And that's what we got to do. We can't give up on our brothers and sisters. They stumble. They are at fault. We, as good Christians, as faith believers, we have to grab them by the arm. If you look at the back of my cut, man, it says mental health, I got you.
Wow.
And I made that promise. I got you. I don't care who you are. I got you.
That's awesome.
Hey,
can I ask you a question?
Sure. Yeah.
So what brings you out here? Like, what's your connection to Thin Blue Line and all that? That's just,
Once again, it's paths cross for a reason. I was doing a radio spot over at Indian Motorcycle in Fort Worth for the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation.
Okay.
And I met a couple of guys. I saw a Thin Blue Line sitting off to the side, and I went and introduced myself, and I met Hobo, and I met Cuffs, and I met a couple other people. And we really became, good friends. They loved what we did. I brought them onto the show, and then they had a golf outing, and I went to their golf outing. I supported them, and I did my radio show over there, and I loved what the group stands for. Their mission, it's giving back. We're called 99% Radio Network for a reason, because we're law-abiding motorcycle riders, but that doesn't mean we don't alienate 1% or the 13% or the 6%.
Right.
We love you guys. We know what you do. And once again, like I said, we hold nobody at fault. That's whatever life.
44%.
Huh? 44?
I think they what's those, the Deacons of Deadwood? I think they have
44.
I think they had something like that. I think it has to do with a tax bracket. I could be wrong, but no.
But yeah, that's what brought me here, man.
That's
and
awesome, man.
I believe in making a difference together.
Right.
And if we can change the life of one person, we did our job.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's my fuel. If I can just one person at a time, each day I take it. I battle every day, man. I think about suicide every single day. My wife will tell you. And God bless her soul, because she's got to sit beside me. And I'm not afraid to say that.
Right.
Because everybody has those thoughts and everybody has those battles. But it's my network, my support people,
Right.
my surroundings, my faith, everything that brings me up in the morning. I open my eyes and I say, thank you. I'm blessed. I woke up.
Amen. Well, God bless you in your journey, but also God bless you for like putting a camera on your journey and mics on your journey, and because it's helping. I guarantee you, it's helping so many people that you're open about it and you're talking about it, because that's isolation and all that is the worst thing.
Yeah.
And that's what traumas such as PTSD will force you, or you'll self-isolate.
Yep. Because so you think you're alone.
It's so good that you're talking. I heard somebody the other day that I was at this poker tournament the other night for Camp Hope PTSD Foundation, and one of the guys was talking about it. He was bad off, been in prison, all kinds of stuff. He went there, and then he's like he came into Camp Hope, and he's like, oh, this is gonna be horrible because I've been discharged from the less than desirable or whatever, and all this. He's been in prison, all this stuff. So he's like, oh man, nobody's gonna love me. All that. He went there, and there's a room full of people like him.
Yep.
And he's like, and it just to feel like he said, of course I'm plagiarizing what he was saying in his testimony, but he says just to be not alone. And he said he thought he was the only Marine who had ever screwed up like that.
Yep.
And he went in there, and there's all these other guys. And then they were able, because of the honesty, the honesty. So I applaud you for your honesty, man.
Yeah, a person's, thank you very much. But a person's transparency helps another person's, confinement.
Right.
And my listeners know this. I brought up that I was sexually assaulted.
Oh, wow.
As a child, I was sexually assaulted for 2 years, and it battled me for over 45 years. And I never let it out. But it was doing damage to my inner soul. And I finally came out with it. And I said, you know what? I'm going to share this. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. So I shared it with people we do a post-traumatic stress workshop. And I shared that. By the end of the workshop, 3 or 4 other men came up to me and they said, I never told anybody, but that happened to me. And now I'm brave enough to accept it. And it healed them.
Yeah.
And that's what everybody's got to do, man. If you're transparency, you are not alone out there. There is somebody else walking in the same exact shoes you were walking in. And, they're closer than you think.
Amen.
They're much closer than you think,
Amen.
Brother, I want to say it was a pleasure. I don't want to take up too much more of your time.
Pleasure.
I want you to get out there and I hear you're one of the judges.
I think so. I mean, I told him I'm not very judgmental.
I got some money. I'm not the
most judgmental Christian, so I don't know how good I'll judge. But
it's only for he to meet. There we go.
Judge ye not. I mean, come on. I'm going to turn in a no vote.
Well, once again, this was an absolute honor for myself to be able to meet and talk to you and interview you. Thank you so much for your time. What do people look forward to in the future for you?
Well,
what can they look for?
The last 4 years, man, while I was building Americanic, I was building Save Savage Ministries. A bunch of us, but we also, I'd started this thing called Americanic.com, which is a streaming platform.
Okay.
Essentially, a non-bad Netflix, a non-bad, where we watch Netflix or Amazon and all this, but they've got just all this garbage on there, and this is just like a very pro-American, pro-God, or at least not anti-American, anti-God streaming platform called Americanic.com.
Okay.
So we've launched it, but we're really we're gearing up for like a real hard launch already. So it's out there. You can subscribe right now, but we're gearing up to just dump a massive amount of awesome content on there.
Nice.
And really do a big push for subscribers and all that. Do a hard launch. That's going to be exciting.
Well, let us know, man. And 99 would love to be a part of that.
Absolutely.
We would love to be.
And on there we have Americonic Tube. So we have Americonic TV, but you can also click over on Americonic Tube, which is like a YouTube, a user-generated, platform. So all your stuff can go up there at any time. I mean, we'll need to talk later, but
yeah,
I do that. And we've got some movies that we're working on, another series. I want to do another series. I did that one for PureFlix, I did Sons of Thunder for PureFlix, and it was a top-rated show. And then they got bought by Sony and yada yada, all this stuff. And next thing you know, I didn't do another season. So working on another show that's that's not too similar that I feel cheesy, but it's similar enough that the fans will really like it.
But it's your art.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's your art.
And so we're doing that soon, and we're going out to funding on that, and another movie called The Baptist. And it's a lot of good stuff. We got some really cool stuff. It's gonna be a great year. It's a new.
Well, if you need a New York, if you need a New Yorker for anything, like I was in SAG.
Yeah.
When I was back in New York,
yeah.
Listen, if you recognize this?
No.
It's when I was in Law and Order. You were able to see my elbow. I did a lot of background work in Law and Order, Sex and the City, The Sopranos.
All right.
But
man, we'll do it.
Yeah, you need a cross-eyed Italian, man. I'm here.
We'll exchange information and we'll
Fantastic.
get together. And
I appreciate it,
man. I'll come do the show again or something, man. God bless you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for
Thanks
the interview.
so
It's been a blessing, man. This is Randall Reeder. Man, check him out. Follow him on all your social media platforms. Support him because he supports you. You don't see those billion-dollar actors out here, supporting the cause, backing our brothers and sisters in blue. Because once again, law enforcement is the toughest job in America. You put your head down on your pillow at night and sleep well because of these men and women, because of our veterans that are out there, all right, protecting ourselves. If we did not have that, imagine the type of sleep you would have, right? If we had no law enforcement and no military with the strength that these men and women have. So God bless them. I want to thank you for supporting the Thin Blue Line Foundation and Law Enforcement Motorcycle Club. The 99% Radio Network is going to support you in anything you do. You just reach out. We got you, brother.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right,
man. Randall Reeder, check him out. Deadpool. All right. Check out the series. It's Marvel, right? Marvel. Yeah. You're a Marvel comic guy. But you know what? I actually watched Deadpool the other day, man. And I loved it.
Yeah.
I actually, your bar scene was epic. It was epic.
It's pretty epic. It's good. It's good.
Was it fun working with those guys?
Oh, yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. They're a good group of people to work with, and it's crazy to be, to be a Marvel character in the MCU. It's wild.
Speaking about Marvel characters, where's that guy who wrote in with you?
Yeah, Houston Deadpool, man. Look him up. He's a trip. Yeah, he rolls with me a lot. We've got to be buddies. He's changed his name to Deadpool and everything. So legally.
Legally?
Totally.
Wow.
Totally. Yeah. It's on his driver's license stuff. Yeah, he's Houston Deadpool. He's a good dude.
Oh, very, very cool.
A lot of works tirelessly with charities and such. So yeah.
Yeah, I saw him roll in. I was like, that's it, man. That's a ticket right there. Well, once again, man, check them out. Follow them, support them, help them out in any way you can. If you see them at our event, they're very approachable. Go up and say, hey, brothers, I got you. And I want to thank you, Randall, very much, man.
Thanks,
appreciate it. This is 99% Radio Network here live at Conroe at the Ice House here at the Thin Blue Line Fajita and Barbecue Foundation cook-off. Man, this supports all our fallen and injured officers throughout the state of Texas. Your little donations, your little help $5, $10 makes a difference to a family that's battling, suffering, or looking to pay the electric bill. It helps in the healing process. I want to thank everybody to tune in. Tune in every Wednesday from 3 to 5 on the Fishbowl Radio Network, OBBM Network, and YouTube, Facebook, and check us out on all the streaming platforms.
God
Peace.
Bless y'all and God bless America.
God bless you guys. Take care.
Yeah, sorry, man. I was prematurely left.
Huh?